Welcome back into another episode of Hefe's World. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But let's go ahead and get right into today's episode. We're doing the Smackdown review episode. Smackdown kicked off with a video package of The Rock and Cody Rhodes from last week. And then we were followed that up with Cody Rhodes walking backstage and being approached by two guys, basically letting them know that The Rock has a room prepared for him tonight. So curious to see what this room looks like at this point and what's going on in Cody Rhodes' head as well. Back to the ring though, Trish Stratus would make her way down to the ring. She cuts a great promo, and then brings out Tiffany Stratton, who then both go back and forth about tomorrow's Elimination Chamber and they cut great promos as well. This would eventually bring out Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton have great back and forth promos, which leads to a one-on-one match between these two, which eventually leads to Nia and Candice LeRae interfering, and then as they would attack Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. Uh, after this, after this would happen, they would get him back into the ring area and continue the attack. But Trish and Tiffany would eventually get the upper hand here, and Nia and Candice would make their way back up to the ramp. Backstage, we are cut with Nick Aldis announcing three number one to contender qualifying matches for the United States Championship tonight, which will all be followed up by a triple threat number one contenders match in the main event. So with that being said, we are cut back to Solo Sikoa in the backstage area, walking up to Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Solo basically tells Jacob that he's taking the spot tonight in the match for the number one contenders qualifying, and that he wants him to bring the United States Championship to the Bloodline. And of course, he once again tells Jacob that he loves him. So there's more continued stuff here. Jacob would walk off after that all that is said, and Tama and Solo would have a stare down. So there's more seeds being planted. I don't think that WWE is going to possibly do the Jacob and Solo match at Mania. They may wait on this, but hey, we may see a lot bigger of a seed planted at WrestleMania for that match. You never know. We may still actually get that match. We'll see what happens. There's about a month and some change until Mania season, so we'll see what happens if they strap the rocket on to getting that match done. But after that, after Solo walking off, Andrade makes his way down to the ring, and then we're cut with our first backstage segment of Cody Rhodes in the locker room that Dwayne has prepared for him. R-Truth is back there with him. One hell of a promo work. Again, R-Truth, national treasure. Um, Got to bubble wrap that guy, keep him around forever. Back to the ring area, Jacob Fatu's music would hit, and we are set for Jacob Fatu versus Andrade for their spot in the triple threat match tonight. Jacob Fatu would win this match and advance to that main event. Then we are followed with a video replay from earlier with the Profits and Santos in the backstage area. Back from commercial, Los Garzas is already in the ring. The Streets Profits music hits, but as they make their way down to the ring, they are attacked by DIY. Uh, Los Garzas would eventually get into the mix. Chaos is pretty much at this point ensuing everywhere. There's a point where Pretty Deadly eventually runs down and makes their way down to the ring and gets in the mix, which is then eventually followed by Motor City that enters the chat, and there's just absolute chaos everywhere. The tag team division is really heating up. I really love what they're doing. They're exposing all these guys, and even though teams like Pretty Deadly and Los Garzas, even though we know teams like that may not win gold right now, at least they're getting the exposure and they're being seen on television. So it's great for them, and it's good, and honestly it's good for the product. I feel like this is going to eventually lead to a ladder match at Mania between all of these tag teams, but we'll see where this goes and what happens next with that. Backstage, though, we have Drew walking past Cody Rhodes. He cuts a promo on his decision with The Rock. And then then we are hit with a commercial. Back from commercial, we have a video package of John Cena, which is then cut off by Drew McIntyre. Drew cuts a promo on Cena, eventually being cut off by Damian Priest. Priest cuts his promo, which is eventually cut off by Seth Rollins. Seth makes his way down to the ring in some interesting fashionable wear. I might add. He cuts his promo, of course, which is eventually cut off by CM Punk. CM Punk says that Seth looks like an oven mitt. He tells Priest he has no problem with him, and he's just upset with Drew and upset with Punk, and he says that everybody will be upset with him when he gets to Mania. John Cena's music would hit, and I mean, it seemed possible that he could be there. I'm sure everybody thought he may be there because it is Toronto and pay-per-view was, is the next day. But let us not forget there was one more guy that hadn't made his way to the ring yet, Logan Paul. So Logan Paul shows up, acting as if he is though John Cena. He cuts his own promo to the ring. It seems as though we're gonna get some Logan Paul and CM Punk feud, singles feud down the line at some point. But there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of way with words here. Paul pretty much cuts a promo on everybody. He ends it off with CM Punk, and CM Punk pretty much tries to run up the entrance ramp and get to Logan Paul, but Logan runs off before that happens. CM Punk walks back down towards the entrance, and they pretty much all just have a stare down to end everything. Then we get a video package of earlier today at an Elimination Chamber. At the Elimination Chamber press conference where Bianca and Naomi would attack Liv and Raquel. Back to the ring. LA Knight's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring. Quick commercial followed by Santos Escobar already being in the ring. We are set for our second number one contenders qualifying match for that triple threat in the main event. LA Knight would pick up the victory here. Then back from a commercial break, we have Sami Zayn making his way down to the ring. He cuts a promo regarding Kevin Owens and the match going on for the unsanctioned match going on tomorrow for the Elimination Chamber. Kevin will show up on the big screen at the Rogers Center already, and he cut his promo for the fight tomorrow as well. Then there's a backstage segment with the Miz real quick and Mello, followed up with Cody Rhodes coming into the picture for the Miz and Cody to have their own promo regarding the Rock's decision again for tomorrow with Cody Rhodes. Back to the ring area, we have Braun Strowman's music hitting, and then back from commercial, Carmelo Hayes would make his way down to the ring. This match would end pretty quickly with some interference, however. Um, Eddie, Eddie Guerrero, there was an Eddie Guerrero type finish here with Carmelo Hayes smacking the chair onto the ring apron while the ref's back was turned and then throwing the chair into Braun Strowman's hands. Carmelo would hit the mat and the ref would turn around to see what? None other than Braun with the chair in his hand, Mello down. He calls for the DQ. So Carmelo would win. No thanks to thanks to Solo Sikoa. Solo would then get attacked after the match, of course. Um, so Solo is helping Carmelo Hayes now, all in all, to help get Braun out of the triple threat match for an easy victory for Solo in the main event. So we have our main event locked in after this match with Carmelo. It will be Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, and Carmelo Hayes later on tonight. Backstage, we have Naomi, Bianca, and Bailey cutting a promo for their match tonight in the Elimination Chamber. Back to the ring, we have Roxanne Perez's music hitting, followed by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez coming out and making their way down to the ring. Quick commercial, followed by Bailey's music hitting, and then Naomi and Bianca, and they make their way down to the ring for a six woman tag match. The winner of this match would be Roxanne Perez pinning Bailey. After the match, however, Alexa Bliss would show up and hit a sister Abigail on Roxanne Perez. So a little interesting there to see what's going to happen. Obviously, these women will be in the Elimination Chamber tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. Backstage, we have Byron Saxton interviewing Charlotte Flair. She cuts a promo, of course, and then back from commercial, we have a video package from Shinsuke Nakamura regarding the United States Championship, and and then from there. We are cut to Solo, Tama, and Jacob backstage. Solo telling Jacob that he took care of Braun Strowman for him, and that now he needs to get out to the ring and take care of everything else. Jacob would cut a promo on his way down to the ring area, and then his music would hit. He would make his way down to the ring. Quick commercial, followed by Carmelo Hayes making his way down to the ring, and then followed by LA Knight as well. So we are now set for the triple threat number one contenders match between Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, and Carmelo Hayes. Great triple threat match, great action. Um, Personal opinion, I would have thought Jacob Fatu would have won this match. However, LA Knight would pick up the victory. Jacob Fatu would pretty much do all the work. LA Knight would drag Jacob out of the ring. LA Knight would capitalize for the 1, 2, 3, and then make his way up the entrance ramp before Jacob could get back up and attack or do anything to um, get back from what just happened. So, LA Knight versus Shinsuke for the United States Championship. It will happen at some point. So, we will see. That was surprise, surprise. Supposed to be tonight's one of tonight's matches, but I guess it got nixed, and we got these three matches probably due to timing because SmackDown is now 3 hours. So I guess at the end of the day, it makes sense for them to just have something for next week or the following week for Shinsuke and LA Knight. But after this, I'm sure a lot of people thought the show would be over, but we had a backstage promo with Punk and Cody Rhodes on tomorrow's decision with then a quick commercial break with Michael Cole introducing Cody Rhodes. Michael Cole interviews him in the ring and introduces a truck gift that The Rock brings out, which is followed by The Rock appearing on our big screen and cutting a promo on tomorrow to end SmackDown. So a lot of things, not too many things happening this week on SmackDown, mainly because the Elimination Chamber is happening tomorrow. Just a little bit of quick things going on to promote the Elimination Chamber. So we will see a couple, two chamber matches and two regular, or I'm sorry, not really two regular matches, one unsanctioned match and a women's tag team match tomorrow. So not much going on in the Elimination Chamber. But it will definitely be a great elimination chamber as Cena, The Rock, and a bunch of big names will be there, as well as Travis Scott. So that's it for this week's SmackDown. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button down below. I'll hit y'all right back with the Elimination Chamber preview episode. And just remember, this is Hefe's World, and you're just living in it.